right, guys, it's the Diva Fit Pros, episode 14. We have a very special guest with us from Puerto Rico.
Ana Delia Iturrondo.
De Iturrondo. Cover model, fitness model, photographer. She's in photography. She's a hair and makeup artist. She's been on almost 30 magazine covers. I mean, you can flip through. I mean, I've seen her in a ton of different magazines. She's also an IFBB pro, which so are we. And so we're so happy to have you on the show and speak with you. You're so inspiring and motivational and beautiful. That goes, I mean, unsaid. I don't have to say that. But thank you for being with us.
No, thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you, ladies, to invite me to your show. It's humbling and an honor for me. So I hope you guys can enjoy the interview.
Absolutely. And we actually met. The first time was when I met you at the Arnold, when you were there with Concrete because you're in a cover of our catalog, Lone Star Distribution.
That's right.
You're absolutely not just in person, like just your energy. You're beautiful, and you're just really humble. And it's to have that beauty and that energy, and to be that complete. It's very inspiring. So I was inspired by you. It definitely left a mark in me.
Thank you, Karina. That's really even more humbling for me to hear coming from you, because I follow you and you actually inspire me to get to my workouts and stuff. Like, you have an amazing body, and not only that, you radiate this happiness and this good vibe that I get from you. So, and that's something that I always get from people. I always let myself go by the vibes I get from people, and I feel we kind of connected there in the booth, even though we weren't able actually to interact too much. But that's good. So thank you again.
I got chills. Yeah, you left a mark too as well. So it's good to know, because you inspire so many.
So please let us know, what was your motivation to even enter into the fitness world? So all the covers, being in magazines, to getting your pro card, how did you even begin that journey?
Well, I've always been into sport all my life. My parents got me into different disciplines, and I actually loved it. Even more when I was in school, even more than just the regular classes that I was getting. I was always looking forward to the physical education class, to go to sports, to run, or something like that. So it's always in my blood. But then, along in my life, after my teens, my father, he had a disease. He had a cancer. He went ill, and a chain of family reactions got me into a really, really deep depression, and that was really hard for me to cope at that time. I was really young, and actually, I got in this depression that I didn't even want to talk. I didn't want to speak. I just literally couldn't even speak, and I didn't want to do anything. For me, I was like a walking zombie. I was like a dead. I looked through life, but I didn't have anything to look forward. And then I always remember, my husband's always been like the support of my life, my mom, and I started reminding, that I still have people that love me, they're here with me, they were giving me support. My husband started hey, let's start to go to the gym again. You always love sports that always get you happy, so let's start doing it again. And I was like, okay, what's the worst that can happen? I get fit, so okay. I started going again to the gym. I started getting into it, and one day he comes with the magazine. He's like, hey, I think it was like a Muscle Fitness hers back then, and in the back they had all the schedules of the NPC shows and stuff. He's like, hey, they opened a new division, bikini, whatever, like bodybuilding. I'm like, me bodybuilding? I don't see, I'm split. I don't have arms. I was like, no way. And he's like, you could totally do that. And I'm like, okay, it'll be something to look forward to. And I'm like, okay, I remember that I used to like to compete when I was in different sports. So I'm like, hell, well, let's do something for me this time. Let's do it for myself. So we took we paid the ticket. Then Arnold was coming up, and where the inaugural bikini was gonna be. So we flew to Ohio. We wanted to meet everybody, see how the thing was, and the goal was to try and find find me a coach. And that's what we did. We flew with some friends, and we totally fell in love with the fitness industry. I saw the competitions. The girls were so supportive when I mentioned to them some of the bikini pros back then. That I want to compete. They were so supportive. Everybody was so it was like a family. I felt like I finally in my life, like I felt an environment that I totally fit in. I was like, this is me. Why didn't I find out all of this before? So anyways, from there, I got the coaches and I started training for my first show. And, to cut the long story short, I competed in my first show. I think it was New York Metropolitans. And I placed second. And I don't have no expectations going into that show. I was just like a girl trying to find her way again into fitness, and I was hooked. I can tell you I was hooked. I was like, okay, this is it. I love it, and I totally want to try and get this pro card in this. And that's what I did.
That's awesome. Definitely, isn't everybody kind of like the same? I mean, that's how I felt. Like, you're looking for an outlet, a way to, I was actually depressed as well, living in a children's home, and I mean. And when fitness came into my life, it opened up a new door, to kind of like, it gave me hope again, So that's all our lives, I think. It kind of goes in there. How did you feel winning the Miss Iberoamerica Puerto Rico?
Well, that's something that I don't tell that much. Let's say you're in the beauty pageant scene and people look at you like, oh, she's just a beauty queen. But it's still something that I'm actually proud of because one thing that some people might not know is like actually Delia, I'm very, very shy. Like I've gotten over it a little bit more now that I'm more adult, but I was always very, very shy. I didn't want to speak with people. Like my mom was like fighting with me all the time because I was like stuck to her legs. Like everywhere we went, and so it's been something really hard for me to overcome that shyness and that going forward, that going to things, and actually, that was something really hard, and. All of this, the modeling, the fitness, and when I went into that beauty pageant, it was really hard for me too because I was like, how am I gonna do this? I mean, like, it doesn't get any worse than this. I'm gonna be in a States, in bikini, in the dress. They're gonna be asking me questions which I probably don't know anything about. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? But I still want you. That's one of the things about me. Sometimes when I'm under pressure, I still find that energy and I find that focus on the end, and it actually helps me to perform better. And I actually did perfectly everything I had to do. I did it. I have no idea how God was with me that day, and I won. And for me, that was like one of the beginnings, that pushed me, like, hey, you can't do this. Like when you put your mind into something, even though you have all these things, just all these fears, all these setbacks and stuff, you can still do it. You're gonna have to work for it. Hell yeah, I work for it.
Absolutely.
You can totally do it.
Yeah, I mean, do you have that? Because I mean, it takes me forever to prepare for a show mentally to get into the stage. When I was younger, I used to walk with my head down to the fact that I hit my head on a pole because I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to see nobody. And when it comes to a crowd, I mean, unless I'm drunk, I'm fine. But if I can't do that in the stage. So it takes another different kind of, in each experience, it kind of opens up a new me. It's like a new transformation. So yeah, it's kind of like the same.
No, that reminds me of another story. One of my first experiences in stage actually comes, I think, when I was like 4 or 5 years old. My mom took me to one of these TV shows where they put like little kids to do like the modeling walk on stage on the TV show. Yeah, me, Cheyenne, you can imagine how that went through. We rehearsed it 1,000 times at home, and I was fun. They put me in the bikini on stage, and the host calls me on to the stage. And I walked all the time with my head out here. And my mom was like, what did you do? Obviously, I didn't get the part. So.
That's so cute.
So don't feel bad.
No.
So I know a lot of our followers and probably many of your fans that are watching would love to know how you became a fitness model. Like any tips that you have, because a lot of young women that we know who compete or just trying to get in shape, they aspire to be a fitness model. And, if I could only get in that magazine, or that's a dream of mine, how could you sum it up in just a few tips on what they could do if that's their dream?
Well, for me as well, it was a dream. When I first started my fitness journey, the bikini, training from beginning and everything, one of the first things I did was a vision board. In that vision board, I photoshopped a photo of myself and a cover of a magazine, along with like pro card and different stage shots and different things. And I was like, I'm going to be in a freaking magazine. I'm going to be in a fitness cover. I did it because of myself, because it was a goal I always had as a model, but I couldn't achieve it before. But in the fitness industry, I saw that I had that chance again because I was like modeling and I like sports as well. So I had the two things, and I was like, I need another goal. Okay, I competed in my first show. Now this is gonna be. It might not happen soon. It might take a while, whatever. But this is gonna be for me. Like it's gonna happen. And actually, it happened in that specific magazine that I photoshopped. I did get my cover later on. Not the first cover that I got in fitness, but later on. You see, it's like I always have a motto, and I think that things in life don't happen when we want it. Life has had a way of teaching me that over and over. You might want 1,000 things. You might have this dream as a child. You might want a lot of things, but things always happen when God wants them. There's always a right time for everything. It's not when you want it, it's when you need it, when it's going to be good for our lives. So that's always what I tell people. Don't get discouraged because things don't happen when you want to. I went to a lot of castings as a model. I did a lot of things. I got critiqued for a lot of things. Or you're too skinny, you're too fat, you're too short, so many things, and I tend to get discouraged at times, but then I was like, okay, now let's try it again. And then you try it again, what's the worst that can happen? You fail, they don't pick you, but then you tried it, and then at least you're not going to be like, okay, I never did it, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that, just always go for it. And another thing I always tell girls that want to tell me, like, they want to be a fitness model, they want to be magazine, is like, always try to be yourself. Sometimes I see girls that they try to be something they're not, and they try to imitate somebody else, or they try to be a personality that is not them. And that shows, people can tell when you're not trying to be, when you're not yourself. And another thing is like always try to work, make people around you feel good. If people around you don't feel comfortable, you're not gonna get booked. People are not gonna book you. They're not gonna want to work with you because you can be the prettiest girl in the world. You can be the fittest girl in the world. But if you don't have that essence in you and you don't work with people, they're not gonna want to hire you. So always be receptive. Be open to critiques. When you're in a photo shoot. How do you say, like, collaborate with the team that's around you. They're all there to make you look the best you can be. Don't treat anybody like there's nothing less than you. They're all there to make you look good. So like just work with the environment, and most of it enjoy the process. It's a learning experience, and just keep going, keep going. Don't give up, and keep going.
I say this. I have a 12-year-old now, and I keep telling her this. Be yourself. You gotta, try all the great things about you now. Then you add on nails and eyebrows, lashes, and things that are for later on. And also to be aware of your environment. Pay attention, feel the energy, because someone like you, like Karen, like I think that when we walk in the room, there's a powerful energy that creates a kind of domino effect. And if you don't pay attention to that, then all of a sudden everybody just kind of cringes in, and the room just becomes quiet. But if you already know about this energy and that you have to be able to, realize in the room and make everybody feel comfortable, I think.
Exactly. No, the energy that you bring to a shoot, is like I tell everybody, is like it makes a big difference. If you're like all shy, you don't want to talk or whatever, the people around you can sense that. And they get contagious. I don't know if that's a word.
Yes. But, it's contagious.
It spreads into everybody else. So you always need to have that positiveness. And even if you don't feel it, you might, because it happens to everybody. We all have good and bad days, but the point is always trying to keep your mind in the positive side, and then eventually things fall into place.
I think you brought up a very good point with the vision board, because I feel that's what's really made me successful, and everything I've tried to accomplish is actually visualizing it and speaking it into existence, and then everything I do kind of is getting me closer to that place, because I'm really thinking about it and I'm believing that I can do it. So I really love that idea. I love the vision board.
No, and it's totally true. Like, it's like I always say, like, some of the things that I've been able to accomplish and I've been proud of my life to say like I did it have come from having that vision board or those papers. I always in my house I make fun of it because I have like doors and the kitchen drawers and the bathroom drawers have stickies all over the house. The little things that I remember, or quotes that keep me motivated, or I make a list of the goals I have for that year or something, and that at least there you're seeing them. You're seeing it constantly, and okay, I accomplished this, next, and then you remove it, and it's good when you see like, shit, accomplish everything in this list, man. I need a new one now. It's like, it's good because you feel like you're going somewhere. You don't feel like you're just like staying in the same place over and over. So that helps.
The vision board parties are the best. You bring a bunch of magazines and you get a bunch of girls. And you have a vision board party. Those are the best. I had one as well.
So in terms of young ladies with, their fitness goals, what can you tell them to stay motivated? So you have to be in shape probably year round for anything that's coming up, whether it's going to be in a magazine or an appearance or something. So what keeps you motivated? How can you keep let the viewers know how to stay motivated? I mean, we're not motivated 24/7. We get in slumps. So what keeps you going?
It's like I said before, like we always have, everybody has good and bad days. Everybody has a story on their own. We're all going through something. And the point is like, as long as you keep your goal in mind, you're always very conscious of how your journey has taken you, where in your life are you at the moment and where do you want to go. That kind of helps you, and it's like I tell everybody, like, just go at your own pace, like pick a pace that you feel comfortable with. Don't focus on what the other one's doing. Oh, this one is doing it faster than me or not. Don't focus on that, because that's gonna block you. That might frustrate you. You might get. Some people might be encouraged by it. Some people it works for them. Some people it doesn't. Nothing works the same for everybody. So just follow what works for you. Follow your heart. Follow what you want to do. What works for you, and keep going. Don't get discouraged. Like I said before, for the models, don't get discouraged. These things don't happen at the same time that you wish they were. They're gonna happen when you need them. Just don't keep going. Put in the work. Everything comes from putting in the work.
Absolutely.
And for staying in shape all year round, pretty much like fitness is a part of my life. It's not something I do for the photo shoot. It's not something I do for a show. It has become a part. Before, it was like that. It was like I was training all the time, 2 or 3 times a day, just for the show. That doesn't happen anymore. Anna has a life. I have a job. I have stuff that I want to do. I want to achieve. I have other things besides just being all my day in the gym. But I do balance, the way I eat with the way I train, and I like to try different things. But I always, it's like I tell people, fitness is about staying healthy. Is about common sense as well. A lot of people know you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that, you should work out, but a lot of people don't do it, and they're reluctant. They want to believe that, no, it's okay, I'm going to use a waist thing, or I'm going to drink this pill, or I'm going to go to this machine and this aesthetic place, and they're going to put me new. You can't rely on all these things. If you want longevity, if you want to stay healthy, and it has to become a part of your lifestyle. You got to eat, live, breathe healthy, and that's pretty much it. Once you accept that as your lifestyle, it becomes so easy. You're not fighting with yourself. Oh my God, I don't want to eat this. Oh, I don't want to eat this many times. Or I don't want to eat so little. Because I heard so many complaints about people. A lot of people tell me, hey, I want to stay healthy. I wanna be fit than this. Can you make me a diet or can you do my training? I'm like, yeah, I've done it to some friends. And then they're like, oh, but this is too hard. Come on.
We've been there. We have some of those as well. What is the wildest date you ever been on?
Well, I don't have I can't remember a wildest, but I do have a good story. It comes from my husband and I when we were dating, right? I was working at a mall in a female clothing store, so he picked me up to have lunch with me. At that time, I had undergone in my teens an accident when I was inline speed skating. I fell forward with my head and I broke these two teeth.
Oh
right?
my God.
So I was in the process. No, the story gets better. I was in the process of getting those teeth fixed. So what I had was like a temporary tooth, and I had my retainer from my braces. So I put the retainer and I pinched the teeth with the retainer so that wouldn't fall, right? So the thing is, I'm eating a sandwich.
Oh my God.
I'm scared.
As I go and I buy my sandwich and I open my mouth, I look at the sandwich. My teeth were stuck in the sandwich.
No. Anna. And he still married you after that. Aww.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, he was like,
I've seen your worst, my darling. I love it.
I don't know how you recover from that. I mean,
no. You know that if a guy survives that, he's a keeper. So, man, that's why we
That was a good one. Yeah. Oh, love it.
so did you laugh at when that happened, or were you just mortified?
I mean, you're a redhead, so I can imagine red.
I was mortified, so I went to the bathroom. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe it happened to me. Like, come on, give me a break, man. But, then afterward, we just laughing. I mean, what are you going to do, Like, whatever.
Oh, my gosh.
Just laugh
How
at it.
cute.
I mean, like, if he stays, good. If he doesn't, okay, next one.
So cute, though.
How
So
long
cute.
have you been married?
Oh, gosh. A lifetime.
Oh, wow.
What? Well, we were dating 5 years. And I think we've been married like 14 years already. So that makes, let me see, like almost 20.
Oh, wow. That's
almost
beautiful.
20 altogether. Is that we know each other since we were like around 13s, 14s? Because we used to do inline speed skating in the same team together. That's how we
So you've been together forever.
Yeah. Well, we were together since 13. We were together later on, but that's how life goes. It goes with what I was saying earlier. Things don't happen when you want them.
Yeah.
They happen when you need them. So later on in my life, he appeared again. And
That's awesome.
Was it hard for him once you started getting on stages and in magazines? Was there any jealousy there from your husband, or was he always supportive, or how was that for you guys?
No, my husband has always been supportive 100%. He is actually the one, because like I told you, like I'm really, really shy. So he's always the one that's like encouraging me. Actually, he's like my other half, like I said, that he compliments me, and he knows what I want, what I need, and he's always been there for me to help me out. And since we work in the same industry, he's a photographer, so we're into modeling, so he knows what it is, he knows about it. There's no jealousy, In the contrary, sometimes I'm the one that's like, no, that's the review, and he's like, no, wear it.
My husband is the same way. He always pushes me. I was like, what about this picture? I said, can you take this picture? I said, what about it? He's like, no, it's fine. Put it up. So he's always supportive as well. But what is the nicest thing that your followers have said to you?
That's a hard one, because really, like, there hasn't been like just one thing. My followers, I really, really love them, because like they're all the time constantly like encouraging me. Sometimes I might put something like, hey, I'm passing through this, whatever, and I get so many messages. They send me poems, they send me messages, they send me words, videos, like they send me a lot of stuff. And that really touched my life, because it's like when I started actually in the social media and the fitness, I would never actually imagine going through so much that I've gone through my life. Sorry, I always get emotional.
Yeah, for sure.
I never actually in my life thought that I would get to a point where I would actually have be able to reach other people and touch other people's lives in a positive way through my journey. And to me, that's like one of the biggest things that I could accomplish as a person. More than fitness, more than the beauty pageants, more than the modeling, to me, that has to be, the greatest reward I could get from life. And because of that,
I know. I'm like,
get it. But did you understand completely? Because I feel like my followers too. It's like every time I get like a whole new bunch of followers, I'm like, oh my God, they're all new. Are they going to be? Because I feel like I'm tight with my followers. They're like my motivation. As much as they motivate me, I motivate them. They motivate me. They have no idea. They keep me consistent as well.
Yeah, no, it's like it's people that just like us have been going through their own dramas, their own family troubles or whatever. Everything that's what teaches me. Hey, you're not alone. Like some days you might feel like the world's ending and you're going into this abyss again.
Yes.
And then your followers start writing. I'm like, shit. Why am I feeling crappy about myself? Look what this person's going through. And then that motivates you to keep going and going and going, So we're not alone. That's the thing, Sometimes we might feel overwhelmed by life and everything, but there's always somebody that's passing a lot of things that are worse than us. Look at these people are now in Syria, the war, all the struggles that are going around the world. There's people that are stuck in bed and they can't even move, We have our legs, we have our limbs, we breathe. So it's like, come on, let's go on, We have to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we want to know what's next for you. So you had your vision board, you tackled all of those things. What is next for you? What's on your newest vision board? Let us know that.
Well, for now, Anna is focusing on her health. I'm just focusing on staying healthy. I've been going in around. I've been struggling for a while now with some health issues outside of my hands, So I'm just focusing on that for the moment. And one of my goals that I hope I can accomplish either this year or the next is like I want to come out with my own fitness wear line or bikini line.
Nice.
So that's something I'm trying to put together.
Love that.
So hopefully it'll happen.
I'll be a customer. I have one question though.
Thank you.
Through all your processes in life and all the things that you've been going through, and I know it's tremendous, and I know what I've been through. How do you stay connected spiritually, mentally, and how do you connect spiritually? How do you do it every morning? Do you wake up and you meditate? What keeps you aligned?
Well, I can say, the thing that keeps me more in line is my faith, my beliefs. I believe in a God, and He's over there watching over me because I've seen it through my, all the way through my life, through my family members, through everything. I've seen so much miracles happening in our lives, even though we've passed through some hardships and. That's actually what gives me, standing. That and my family, my husband, my mom, those are the two pillars. And I have a younger brother that is out there and is gonna be a good guy one day too. And those things, keep me going. And Anna still wants to do a lot of things for her life, and there's still Anna to go. So.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I see the trophies behind you.
Flex.
From your competition. So I believe you won the Flex Model Search. Yeah. And there's 5 or 6 other trophies there. But what I want to know is what year did you turn pro and when will you compete again?
I think it was 2013, Team Universe. And Team Universe, that was the winner. I was waiting for that pro card for so long, and actually that last year that I got the pro card, I competed like I think it was like 5 shows in a row. I was like looking for that pro card, and it was just setbacks. I was like health issues. My God, everything that was gonna happen happened that year. Everything that was gonna go wrong went wrong. Right to the moment that I went to hand in my application, my entry application for the MPC, I was like, I left it on the mail. They were looking at me on the mail like, what's going on with this girl? Because I was like crying. He's like, why is she sending this mail crying? I was like, everything was going wrong that day. I didn't even know if I should compete. I was like, you know what? I think this is it. I don't think I'm gonna get my broker. I'm not gonna be able to compete. Everything was going wrong. My mom was sick. Oh my God, so many things. So, and at the end, I called my husband. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I can. He's like, oh, just send the mail. Just send it. We're gonna do it. So we sent it, and the plan was I was gonna go along to the show, right? So I went to the competition, and I was so beat up. I was feeling crappy. My head wasn't in it. I was like, my God, I didn't even want it to be in the stage. That's how bad I felt. And then my husband surprised me, and he went. He wasn't sure if he was gonna make it. Oh my God,
I'm gonna cry.
And he made it. He made it over there, and so anyways, and finally, I got my pro card, right? So it's funny because all the girls, there were some girls competing with me through the year that they were as well, trying to get it, and we knew the struggles of each other or whatever. So it was kind of really touching when I got it, because when I got it, you could hear people, clapping, and the girls that were competing with me and whatever, everybody was very supportive, and the girls crying, and everybody was crying backstage. It was so emotional. And it was one of the most special competition shows, that I've ever been into, because of the emotion was so hard, everything was going on, it was I wanted to drop on my knees and kiss the floor. That's how bad, I was like, I can't believe this finally happened. And it wasn't because of a trophy or a card, it was because of myself, For me, it was yeah, you made all through all of that, so much setbacks, so much stuff, you didn't give up, even until the very end. You didn't give up. So I did.
So happy that you had that opportunity.
Exactly, and I can relate to that, because when I got my pro card, that I was going through a lot too, and I was like, can I even do this? It was the first time I doubted myself, and I had people telling me, oh, you'll get your pro card next year, and while I was trying to get my pro card at that show, and despite all those struggles, just everything that was thrown my way, the fact that I did get it at that show was so meaningful. Like you said, it's just that you overcame the struggle and the hardships and didn't give up. And then you take that with you when you go to do something else, and you say, if I would have given up then, I would have missed out on that. I can't give up now, because I could miss out on something wonderful again.
Mm-hmm. No, and now that you mentioned that, when I was backstage that we were lining up to go to the finals, I was talking to this girl that she's also been competing for years. So we were talking, and everybody was asking each other, hey, how long you been competing, and this and that. And I was saying, I think this is my last show. If I don't get it here, I don't think I'm going to compete at least for a year or something. So she's like, oh, I've been competing for 8 years. And I'm like, holy shit.
I'm thinking I'm going to do one more show.
I'm here complaining, and she's been trying to get her broker for 8 years. I was like, okay, don't feel bad. You can do this. You can do this. Yeah. So, and that kind of gave me, it's like I was saying, you complain about some things, but there's always somebody worse, and they're still there trying to fight for it. So
my best year at the Olympia, I got fourth. I competed 4 times that year. I was exhausted. I was like, that's it. I'm never going to do this again. And I get fourth at the Olympia, which is, for me, that was huge, I was just exhausted. But it's that miracle. Sometimes you don't give up before that miracle, I guess,
Exactly. That's what I keep in my head sometimes. Because I always tell someone man, but what if I don't do it? What if it was about to happen? I'm no, I can't give up. I need to.
Yes. Yes.
I'd rather go with the possibility of it happening than just not doing it. So
absolutely.
So don't forget the second part of the question. Will you hit the stage again?
Well, it's something that is still in my head. I would love to compete as a pro, because I haven't gotten the chance to actually, compete in a stage as a pro, and not sure when yet. Hopefully, either
Maybe the
next year,
Korean
probably
Nacimiento
bikini.
Classic next year. I'll add bikini.
Maybe.
You come stay at my house, hang out, and then go to the show.
Perfect.
Maybe. Okay.
Mark your calendar.
Yeah.
Mark the calendar.
No, and even if I don't compete in bikini, like I was telling Karen earlier, like I'm always trying to find something different to do. You know, I've been looking into different sports and different other things that I might be able to do. So I always like to keep myself busy doing something. You know, it's in our veins. You know, we need to keep moving.
Absolutely.
And so, if our followers want to follow you, which I'm sure they already have started following you at this point, how can they find you?
They can find me on my Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams, and Delia Fitness, which is more my lifestyle and fitness stuff that I share. And I have the modeling one, which is Anna.Delia_. I think that's the one. And also I have Snapchat. Not using Snapchat as much as the moment. I'm using a little bit more Insta stories.
Yes.
But if you want to follow me as well on Snapchat, it's Anna Delia Fitness. And Facebook is way too long the name, but I think now you can use the short, which is Ana Delia De Iturrondo. I think that's the one. If not, you can put the link.
Yes, we will.
My website, www.anadelia.com.
Perfect. We want to thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
We think you're beautiful, inspiring, and we're going to keep watching you and see what you're up to. We're going to wait for the clothing line or the swimwear, whatever you decide to do. And then if you come to South Florida, you better contact us, and we can get a workout in. We'll work out and hang out.
I already told you, come and stay with us.
Yeah.
Thank you. And if you guys ever come to Puerto Rico, I'll be glad to show you girls around.
That's a good idea, actually.
Boom.
No,
That could be a
Yes.
taxi.
Yes. We will. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll probably end up there
it's
someday.
not too far.
Uh-uh.
It's right around the corner,
There's a
really.
lot to see.
Yes.
A lot to see. You can
thanks,
even do another video for your website there.
Yes.
There's a waterfall, there's the beach, there's so much.
Yes, exactly. Photo shoots out there. Because you can do our hair and makeup, and you guys can do the photography. We're all set, and we have a place to stay right there. We're in.
We got it. We're in.
All right, babe. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, ladies. Thank you again
Love.
for the opportunity.
Mwah.
All the best.
Bye, babe.
Same.